An Arizona residential purchase agreement is a legal document between the buyer and seller of a home. It states the proposed purchase price, closing date, financing plans, and any other terms and conditions within the transaction. In this video, we'll cover how a residential purchase agreement works, legal requirements in Arizona, and what you need to create one. We're eForms, the biggest online database for legal documents. Stick around and we'll tell you where you can find an official residential purchase agreement specific to Arizona. First, let's review. How does a residential purchase agreement exactly work? A residential purchase agreement acts as an official offer from a prospective buyer to the seller of a house. In addition to stating how much the buyer wants to pay for it, the document also outlines financing, escrow, and the conditions that must be met for the agreement to stay in effect. The seller, once they've reviewed the agreement, can either accept, reject, or make a counteroffer. This brings us to the next topic, legal requirements in Arizona. Under Arizona statutes and case law, the seller is required to make a number of disclosures about the property. This includes any known material defects and conditions on the property, any claims made on the property, condominium disclosure if the property is within a homeowners association or a planned community, soil remediation if applicable, swimming pool disclosure if applicable, and any other information the buyer makes a direct inquiry about. In addition, if the house was built before 1978, the seller must disclose any history of lead-based paint exposure under federal law. On the other hand, Arizona state law says that the seller is not required to make disclosures regarding deaths or felony crimes that took place on the property, if it was owned or occupied by an individual diagnosed with HIV, or is located in the vicinity of a sex offender. Finally, on to the last topic. What can you do to ensure that your residential purchase agreement will help guide the transaction forward smoothly? Include a mortgage pre-approval letter. A mortgage pre-approval letter is a document from the bank estimating how much it is willing to lend the buyer based on their credit history, income, debts, and assets. This helps the seller determine whether the buyer is financially credible. Offer an earnest money deposit. An earnest money deposit is a percentage of the offer and provided to the seller as a show of good faith. It is written into the residential purchase agreement and typically delivered when the agreement is signed. Use an addendum to modify or add to the agreement. An addendum is often included with a residential purchase agreement to add to or amend any terms and conditions. It can also detail a contingency which allows either party to opt out of the contract if certain terms are not met. If you're in need of an official Arizona residential purchase agreement, you can get started by clicking the link here. Also, hit that subscribe button for more videos that help you simplify the legal process for everything ranging from buying or selling a house to making a will and more.